Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! This really is my greatest honor that I've ever had in my 25-year career. I think that being able to sit behind a podcast microphone and talk about Descendants and Zombies in the way that I've thought it's meant to be talked about for what feels like an eternity for me is one of my greatest honors that I have ever had bestowed upon me in my entire career. And I've been doing this for a very long time. I have been on YouTube for what feels like forever. And one of my greatest honors was getting the honor to have met each and every one of you and hear your opinions and your stories that tie in with Descendants. I've had a whole lot of fun creating this show, which is why I hope you click subscribe on my YouTube channel, because when you hit subscribe, you're really going to like it on this YouTube channel, because if you want to hear something nice about your favorite Descendant stars, Red, Chloe, Bridget, you have come to the right place, because I don't see anything wrong to review negatively with Descendants. I've always looked at the positive side of the franchise, and I've always looked at what could be better to put out there for fans who love it so much, because I know sometimes a lot of people review Descendants and they can't make sense of the franchise, the direction of the story, what's going to happen next. By the time we get to Descendants 5 in 2026, there's going to be the Kingdom Cup games. We're going to see a lot of confliction between Red and her sister, obviously. Red possibly seeing a love interest in Ace. If you've read the Descendants books, there are a total of 9 of them, and there is a love interest that Red does encounter. His name is Ace, and that was looked at in the Isle of the Lost book. Beautiful books and beautiful reads, and I highly recommend that anyone who has never taken themselves up the opportunity, the chance to read the Descendants books, you probably should perhaps, because it will give you a better insight on what kind of direction we will see the movies head in. There are going to be a total of up to 3 or 4 movies for Descendants: The Rise of Red, and I've always wanted to never see a story end. I don't know about you girls, but I love when a story just keeps going and going and going and going and going, because it gives us a chance to see more magical things happen and more unpredictable things to happen. Like, I was really looking forward to seeing Ruby Rose Turner's character go through the transformation into a meaner character, a stronger character by the time we got to Descendants 5. So the transformation of the evil Queen of Hearts could have been looked at, more from how she turned into so evil when she was a teenager. I would have loved to have seen confliction between Red and Bridget, with Bridget being a stronger character, more powerful than ever before. Obviously, we won't see that, because obviously Ruby Rose Turner's character was just to explain why the Queen of Hearts was the way she was, why she turned from evil to good at the end of the movie. And obviously Descendants 5 will focus on the conflict that will arise from the consequences of time travel. And I look forward to that, because we're going to see a lot of new characters. We're going to see Liamani Segura coming in to replace Bridget, of course, Ruby Rose Turner. But I dearly miss Ruby. That's the whole issue I have with this. For the life of me, I don't know how you can produce Descendants 5 and get away with it without Ruby Rose Turner, because she was just so genuinely kind, and she was just so fearless, and she didn't care what anybody thought of her. Ruby always had a very positive vibe, and every time Ruby entered a room, she not only brought the best out of herself, but she brought the best out of everybody she ever had the opportunity to work with. Kind of like how Cameron Boyce years ago brought the best out of not only himself, but brought the best out of everybody he worked with on Jesse and Bunked and the Descendants cast, and everybody was so fond of him. And I think everybody was just so fond of Ruby, because I know when Ruby announced that she was parting ways with the Descendants franchise and saying goodbye, I know Kylie Cantrell was really conflicted with emotion. She wanted to work with Ruby more. I wanted to see more of Ruby. More fans were like me and wanted to see more of Ruby. She's going to be missed, and I'm going to forever miss Ruby, but I think she's the strongest Descendants character, one of them at least, that we have seen since Mal in 2015. And I remember how spectacular the Descendants franchise was and how it was looked at in 2015. There was no criticism for the original Descendants franchise. A lot of people felt like the first Descendants had a lot more to offer, and a lot of unanswered questions we were left with at the end of the movie, and by the time we got to Descendants 2, a lot of our questions got answered, and we were offered more in the way of music and a plot. So the music got better, the story got better, and by Descendants 3, well, it just exploded. And then 5 years after a 5-year hiatus, Descendants had gone away and came back with this very powerful cast. But despite coming back with a powerful cast, characters portrayed by Kylie and Ruby and Malia, everybody's decided to criticize it because they wanted to find something bad to talk about. I didn't see anything wrong with the movie, and I was one of the only YouTubers who went on the show and found everything nice to say about it. I know there were people who said nice things about it, but there were more of negative reviews thrown the way at the Descendants cast. It was real negative vibe, and it really broke my heart. So I said to myself, I had been on YouTube for forever. I had produced many YouTube videos and many YouTube shows and commentaries, so I wanted to give you guys something special. And what I mean by something special special is something that would make you feel stronger about how you feel about Descendants and Zombies, something nice for you to watch and hear, because I didn't think there was enough videos of something nice and hear consisting of nice vibes for Descendants. Here's how I choose to look at it. If a little girl looks at me and says, do I think there's going to be a new chapter of Descendants, a new movie? Sure, there's going to be a new movie. It might be 3 or 5 years before the movie is seen and released to the public, but sure, I feel there's going to be a new Descendants, new logos, new color schemes, new plots, new characters, because there are so many fairy tales that have yet to see their introduction into the Descendants franchise, and so many characters that were underappreciated from even the original Descendants, like the daughter of Milan. I mean, she was so fearless, so athletic, so powerful, so strong, but the emphasis of her character wasn't looked at enough, and I was really disappointed, and I really felt let down that Milan's character didn't have a whole lot of emphasis. I think there could have been a crush developed between Jay and Milan's daughter. That would have been more beautiful if it would have been examined more and looked at more, and more light would have been shed upon it. And I think there would have been more of a more beautiful experience for Ruby Rose Turner if her character would have had more emphasis in The Rise of Red. It was a 90-minute movie. They said in the reviews that, you told the story and completed it in 90 minutes, and I really felt like blowing my house up when I heard people say you had told the story in 90 minutes and completed it, because I seriously thought about blowing up this entire set, because you can't tell a story in 90 minutes and complete it. There are so many chapters left unwritten for Descendants, and so much of an opportunity to create with this. I just mentioned how I wanted to see the transformation of Bridget into a far more stronger character and far more relentless character than what we saw from The Rise of Red. Her voice on the song Life is Sweeter When You Are, there was just something really satisfying about that and incredibly beautiful. And I've been crying myself to sleep every single night since I heard the news of how Ruby was parting ways with the Descendants franchise. Now, I don't know the reason behind that, why Ruby is making the decision to part ways with the Descendants franchise. She opted out of the Worlds Collide tour. She opted out of Descendants 5, and we haven't heard anything from Ruby since. And I check Ruby's social media pages quite frequently to find out any updates on what's happening with Ruby. I haven't heard anything yet. Now, I know there are a lot of people who use the dark web and different search sites than I do. A lot of people use Bing and other websites that I don't really frequently go to. A lot of people follow D23.com. But when they announced that Ruby was going to be a part of the Descendants Rise of Red franchise, I was really excited about it for one reason and one person only, and that was Ruby Rose Turner. I had watched Kylie before on YouTube on her show Hello Kylie, and because I was a very devoted and dedicated YouTuber all the time, uploading videos every day on YouTube, I watched Hello Kylie with an open heart and an open mind, and I was really excited to see what videos would be offered from Kylie. Would they be dance videos? Would they be creative videos? Would they be narrative videos? Would they be videos where she'd be offering criticism? And I got everything all in the one on Hello Kylie, because I was a dedicated YouTuber and I looked for that. I looked for content creation, and that's what I got from Kylie. I got opinions from Kylie that were adorable. I loved it, and I would have went for Ruby to have a YouTube show too, or even hosted the show with Kylie. Their friendship is something that was heavily documented when The Rise of Red was released. They had been friends ever since they were 9 years old, and it showed. In the photos they took off of camera, and even on set, the chemistry was unbelievable, and in the photos they just loved each other so much. They were so lovey-dovey, kind of like how my personality comes off on this YouTube channel all the time. With me, what you see is what you get, and I wouldn't have it any other way, because I think that there is never enough kindness in this world. The words I love you are never said enough, and there's never enough appreciation for the value of a girl and her opinion. And I say this because I saw how ridiculous Kylie Control was treated in a relationship just last year, and by February of last year, at the beginning of the year last year, she was crying on TikTok videos trying to explain herself for her actions, why she got away from her boyfriend when she did. Kylie, there is no reason for you to have to offer an explanation for why you got out of a relationship. Obviously, there was really bad chemistry between the two of you. You didn't work, and you didn't have to offer us any explanation. You're an incredibly kind person with so much to offer to this world in the way of an opinion, in the way of talent. She's so inspiring. And I see her on videos crying all the time because of how her boyfriend treated her, and she's criticizing him all the time. She has a right to her opinion, and she has a right to talk. Kind of like how Dove Cameron's boyfriend, Thomas Doherty, told her that more people like her more when she doesn't talk much, and I thought that was really ridiculous. That was repulsive. So my heart went up in my throat. It felt like it was going to fall on the floor more times than I ever admitted to each and every one of you on this podcast. So I started letting people like Ryan McCartan and Thomas Doherty and Kylie Control's boyfriend really having it in my commentaries, and I had to apologize for a lot of stuff that I said, but I think a lot of the stuff that I said was justifiable, and I like to believe that I didn't say anything wrong, because I've always been an advocate for women's rights. And if there was a girl watching the show, a girl or a woman watching the show, who feels like she's been let down by, people around her peers in her relationship, Her value in this world is incredible because girls help me make sense of my own life. More times than often enough, when I couldn't make sense of the relationships I was in, the situations I had been caught up within, I felt lost more times than I've ever admitted in a written journal or on a commentary on YouTube. And you girls really became my light out of darkness. And what I mean by that is, when I felt like I didn't have a single fan who ever supported any video that I uploaded on YouTube in the way of a commentary or just being creative, I had each and every one of you who loved Descendants and Zombies as much as what you said you did, and you proved it every single time you hit the like button or you hit the subscribe button for this YouTube channel, which I hope you're going to do today when you watch this video and hear what I have to say and hear my take on Descendants, because I think we're headed in a very profitable direction with Descendants 5, Wicked Wonderland. I don't think this is going to be a movie that is going to deserve the criticism that it's going to receive and going to see. Now, without a doubt, without there being any doubt in my mind, it is going to receive a fair share of criticism because of the cast, the story not really making a whole lot of sense to a whole lot of people because they're going to feel as if this is left out, that is left out. So what? There is always the chance to see a third and make it a trilogy like you did with the original Descendants from 2015 to 2019, and I love the original Descendants, don't get me wrong, but I think I love this one that much more because of the vibe, because of the music, because of the script, because of the characters, although I am going to miss Ruby Rose Turner so much. Ruby became a stronger person, even though we didn't see her turn into the evil Queen of Hearts, and everybody was excited about the transformation into a young teenage Bridget, being more evil and more controversy. I love when controversy ascends in movies because it creates a more diverse and very unpredictable plot. You know, if a plot is so obvious, you don't want to watch the whole movie. But if the plot isn't so obvious and there's twists and turns, which you can expect for Descendants 5, Wicked Wonderland, because we have no idea who the villain is going to be, which is why I don't know why they took the essence of time travel out of Descendants 5. You were telling a whole new story that could have involved time travel, but I guess because of the emphasis being specifically on time travel in Descendants 4, The Rise of Red, the producers and writers felt as if they would have wanted to eliminate it and focus on something out in present-day Wonderland because there wasn't enough emphasis in the original Rise of Red movie with emphasis on present-day Wonderland. Let me just say this for the record. If I was writing or producing Descendants, there would be emphasis on time travel for Descendants 5, Wicked Wonderland, because there could have been another reason to go back in time. You could have pulled the Phineas and Ferb any time, at any given moment in this. It could have gave you an opportunity to create better music, a better plot, and you could have went back in time, got Bridget and brought her back to present-day Wonderland so she could have been a part of Descendants 6. If I was the prince in Descendants, I would be in love with Ruby and have to go back in time, and I would probably be convincing Red and Chloe to go back in time with me to save Bridget from the predicament we left her in from The Rise of Red. That's a movie in its own right. I'm really going to miss her. I think Liamani Segura, for the record, is going to do a fabulous job. She looks fearless and strong in her own right, very powerful. Her gym regimen speaks for itself. But Ruby's gym regimen was so powerful. For somebody who was just 12 years old when I watched her on Coop and Cammy Ask the World, I mean, she is so much stronger now than she ever was before, and I want somebody to hit the like button if they agree with my opinion on Ruby, because in all honesty, I think Ruby is one of the most fearless and strongest Disney Channel girls that we have seen in a really long time, and she comes off as such a huge inspiration. Her gym regimen, the abs, and the arm muscles she has are absolutely incredible. Now, that's not taking anything away from Kylie Control either, because the friendship between Kylie and Ruby have their own hashtag, and it's so heavily profiled that I just fell in love with it so much. But the thing about Kylie Control is she was just fearless from the opening number Red right on through to the conclusion of the movie and its climax. There was never a moment in that movie where Red actually cared what anybody thought of her. Even her friend Chloe in that movie, she didn't care what anybody thought of her. And there was even confliction between Red and Chloe, which is why there could be more conflict and confliction between these two in the second part of The Rise of Red, Descendants 5, Wicked Wonderland, which is a title that I love so much, because nobody who has a brother or sister has never escaped having a quarrel with them at some point during their childhood or their years of life together, because I've had many quarrels with my family over the years. We haven't really exactly seen eye to eye. I've even had quarrels with my parents. Me and my dad never saw eye to eye on all times, but we loved each other dearly. We just didn't see eye to eye more times than we ever chose to admit. And I feel as if there are more people watching these videos and hearing my analogies that are in the same kind of position where they can't make sense of their own life. which is why I've always said that if you have one really good friend or even two really good friends as opposed to having 25 friends and being the most popular girl in school, the thing is if you have two really good friends that you can keep with you for your entire life and hold on to, I think that is a very positive way and a very proud way of looking at it, and it will make you a stronger person, and you will be able to face adversity head on, and you will be able to conquer it. And that's the best piece of advice I could give anybody who may be struggling with this in school and being under peer pressure, because Descendants really inspired us to be stronger people. And that's something that I give the writers and producers of Descendants a profound amount of credit for being able to do, is inspiring us to be stronger people. Now because of Descendants, more people are standing up for what they believe in, accomplishing more goals, achieving more dreams, which, by the way, if you haven't achieved today, tomorrow is another opportunity. And hey, today is young. Today is not over yet, and the sun has not set, and by the time I record another video after sunset tonight, I'm sure somebody out there is going to have achieved their dream, which is going to make me very proud and feel very accomplished with putting these videos up on YouTube for you every day. I want you to know there's always going to be a video uploaded, even if it's just one video per day on this YouTube channel, to offer you encouragement about what you may be going through, because I want you to know you're never alone. And that is one of the greatest accomplishments, I think, as a YouTuber for me, is knowing that you're never alone and knowing that you can achieve any dream, whatever that dream is. And I really don't care what that dream is that you want to achieve. You just have to make it happen. For instance, if you want to be a Disney actress like Clarke or one of the most accomplished actresses in the world, Disney is not going to come knocking on your door looking for you to hand you an opportunity. You have to go out there and make every moment in your life count, because you only have one chance to make it go and make it work. And if you get noticed and can be put on that pedestal, more power to you. I'm never going to discourage anybody. Nobody's hopes and dreams with Descendants and Zombies. I've even went for Clarke and Mila Baker getting together in Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland, because a lot of people have rumors online. I've heard rumors online about them getting together, and I'm not shutting down the possibility of anything happening in Descendants. I think it would make for a stronger environment, a stronger movie, and more of a diverse opinion. Some people would agree with it, some people wouldn't agree with it. I think this is a fabulous franchise, and I hope it lasts for forever. I'm not going to take any hopes or dreams away from anybody with this YouTube channel. I just want to create fun videos for you, which has been a long time coming on YouTube and been needed for a very long time. And I just wanted to be that guy to be able to create these videos for you, to have you enjoy what you're watching on YouTube. Your opinions about Bridget, your opinions about Red and Chloe, your opinions about Descendants characters of the past, Mal, Evie, Carlos, Jay, are deserved to be heard. And your voice, because you have a voice, your voice does deserve to be heard. You don't deserve to be finding videos on YouTube about Descendants and Zombies that make no sense. I loved Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires. I didn't see anything wrong with it or anything negative to say about it and present the way of a negative vibe. I think if you're going to create a video about Descendants and Zombies, encourage and lift the hopes of somebody up higher than they've ever been lifted up before, because they're a fan of Descendants and Zombies. I'm almost 40 years old, and I've had the time of my life creating videos for this niche. I've been a fan of Disney all of my life, and I felt as if I've been a part of every generation of Disney, every cartoon, every animated TV series, every movie for Disney Channel, every movie on the big screen. Every aspect of Disney I have had the honor of being a part of, and being able to commentate for this new generation of Disney fans after being a fan of the Descendants franchise in the past because of Dove Cameron, Sevilla Carson. Without a doubt, Dove Cameron was one girl who made me famous overnight. It just so happens. And each and every one of you, I can't go on without thanking you for having made me famous overnight, because when you hit my like button and hit my subscribe button, you didn't have to. But I wanted to just rise your hopes up higher than any other YouTube creator out there and help you make sense of this Descendants franchise. You're going to have to forgive me, because I'm a real sweetheart, and I love creating videos for people who love Descendants and Zombies so much. I recognize the popularity of the Descendants franchise. I know how much you cherish it, and I've never ever wanted to take that away from you. I want to honor this Descendants franchise so long after I'm dead and gone and I'm not heard from anymore and my voice is no longer heard. I just want to be remembered for a guy who went above and beyond the requirements of a YouTube creator to really put the YouTube channel out there that would create Descendants and Zombies videos in the way they've been meant to be created for far long enough now, because the most of it is AI-generated thumbnails, AI-generated descriptions, AI opinions with voiceovers. At least on this show, there's a really sweet guy and a really hot guy hosting the show who wants you to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, who talks about Descendants and Zombies because he knows how much the fans of the franchises appreciate it. And I just want to see if I can make this Descendants and Zombies podcast the most popular Descendants and Zombies podcast on the internet. While I may not be the official voice of Descendants and Zombies, it's become very apparent to me that you girls have made me the voice of Descendants and Zombies, which I can't thank you enough for having done, because you didn't have to do that. You could be watching somebody else's podcast talking about Descendants and Zombies, which probably is better than this podcast and probably more informative, but I think I'm a Descendants analyst. A lot of people think I have a PhD in Descendants. Now, there are some aspects of Descendants I don't know about, but I know a fair bit about Descendants. I think enough to get away with creating a podcast that is really special to a lot of people and holds a special place in people's hearts, because there are some people who have subscribed to this YouTube channel from the very first video that was ever uploaded here, and from my heart to yours, I can't thank you enough for that, because you're here and you don't have to be here. You could be watching a Disney podcast about Descendants and Zombies that actually offers you behind the scenes footage, what have you, and interviews. I know that. But I've been on YouTube for a very long time, and I just recognized the popularity of Descendants, and I just wanted to blow it out of proportion in a way that it's been meant to be blown out of proportion for far long enough now. And I just wanted to say thank you for all the love and support you have shown this YouTube channel when you really didn't have to, because I honestly don't know where I would be without each and every one of you. I try to upload at least one video a day about Descendants and Zombies, either Descendants or Zombies. I pick between the two franchises, and honestly, it is really hard to choose between the two franchises on what to create a video for. But you got to believe me, all I've ever wanted is for people to hit my subscribe button, and I love when I see my subscribers going up all the time, because it just shows how much you appreciate these videos and how much you love them. And I think the more that you love these videos, the more it gives me incentive to create these videos and create special videos for you. And what I mean by special videos, videos that are very different from the videos you see about Descendants and Zombies, that offer encouragement that we will see this in Descendants 5. We may not see this in Descendants 5, but we will see something very special in Descendants 5. Just because your opinion may not be seen or taken into consideration about Descendants doesn't mean that we won't see it by the time we see Descendants 6. I'm kind of hoping they're going to shoot Descendants 6 here in Newfoundland, because it's beautiful scenery, and I just wanted them to shoot it in my backyard and come live with me so they wouldn't have to live in a trailer, so Ruby Rose Turner could play video games with me every night, because I have every PlayStation 5 video games in existence. I will admit to you that I'm a real loser with no girlfriend, but I guess that's how my life went, because I was meant to sit behind this podcast microphone every day of my life and critique Descendants. I've never been more popular because of you girls. You've made me famous on YouTube overnight, and I honestly can't thank you for that, because I honestly don't know where I would be without each and every one of you. You know, girls could watch these videos and never hit the like button, never hit the subscribe button, but I know somebody is going to. Eventually, this curse of having 2,748 subscribers will be lifted, and I will go from 2,748 subscribers to, I don't know, 2,750 subscribers, which would be an amazing accomplishment, and then it's on to the 3,000 subscriber milestone, which will come with time. It may not happen tonight or overnight or the next day or the next day after that, but it will come with time, and I know it will, because I have the support of each and every one of you. I know I say a lot of silly things about how I'm a vampire slayer, how I want to run for president of the United States and have aspirations of doing that, but you're going to have to forgive me. I don't like seeing Kylie Cantrell and Ruby Rose Turner crying about things they can't make sense of their careers and their lives and the path they've taken. I think that a lot of people have shown them a fair amount of criticism, and I just wanted to take that away. I wanted to alleviate the pressure off of their shoulders, and that be the reason why I put $5,000 behind this YouTube channel and haven't regretted it and haven't looked back since. I really have no regrets for having created this YouTube channel, because as I said, you girls have deserved to hear far better than what you've been hearing for far long enough now, and I just wanted to be the guy to do that for you and give that to you, so that you would have a special place in my heart for forever. You would take a piece of my heart with you no matter what you were faced with in the way of circumstances and diversity in your own lives. And I just wanted to help you make sense of stuff, because I'm a really strong person, and I'm a really dedicated person to what I believe in. And it just so happens, ever since I got out that horse on my way through the forest one night and found Oregon and met all of you, I think it's an incredible honor for any podcast out there that talks about Descendants and Zombies. Sometimes they don't recognize how fortunate they are and how grateful they should be to have you in their presence, because girls really are that's all that's ever made sense to me, and I just want you to know how special you are, and you're the reason why you make this world revolve and the reason why it spins on its axis, because without you, guys are just idiots in this world taking up space that can't make sense of their own lives, and you girls have helped me in more ways than you could ever imagine, and I just want to say thank you for being here and being the devoted Descendants and the loyal Descendants fans that you are. And of course, I can't forget about the Zombies fans. I know they're out there watching my videos too. Thank you girls so much for always loving me, opening up your heart to me, and allowing me to be the song in your heart for the last decade. It has been a decade that I have cherished and will cherish for forever. And I honestly don't know where I would be without each and every one of you. From my heart to yours, I just wanted to say thank you so much, because when you could be on anybody else's YouTube channel supporting them, he or she, you are here on this YouTube channel because you think this guy is incredibly sweet for creating all these Descendants videos for you. And for that, I just want to say from my heart to yours, thank you so much, because I honestly don't know where I would be or where the show would be. When I first launched this show, I didn't know if anyone was going to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and now I have over 3,000 subscribers whom I don't deserve. I hope I have 2,750 by the end of this evening, by the time the sun sets, but that remains to be seen, but only you can make it happen. So hopefully you will go out of your way to hit the subscribe button and give me a few, I don't know, 1,000 likes, 1,000 subscribers maybe, I don't know. So I'm going to go upload this video on YouTube now, probably bury my head in a chocolate fudge sundae and think nobody's going to hit the subscribe button. Woe is me, where art thou, Ruby? I'll hit the subscribe button and make something happen on this YouTube channel today. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for showing your kindness to this YouTube channel, which you will show today. Be kind to one another. Bye, YouTube. We will do this again in a few hours from now, because life is emphatically sweeter when we all are together.